Alright, so I'm sure I did some sort of intro showing off the theme that I recorded after I'm recording all this when I make the video. But in case you missed it and, I don't know, skipped into the video, the theme for this game jam is repair. Now, the reason that I had to wait until the theme went public is because unfortunately I wasn't able to get out to a game jam site this year. And when it comes to Global Game Jam, they always have the theme on lockdown. So you have to wait until all the time zones have announced the theme and then it'll finally go public. And that's what I had to wait on. So because I'm doing this by myself, first of all, I get to do whatever I want. Second of all, I gotta keep it simple. You know, I'm pretty familiar with Unreal Engine, so I feel like I could build something. But I'm not a master at Unreal, so I want to make sure that I keep it simple so that it stays within, you know, what I'm able to do in a short amount of time. Especially since the reason that I wasn't able to get out to a site is because I have a day job and I have to work this weekend. So I want to come up with an idea that I know that I can get done in a very short amount of time. And because I'm a sound designer and I'm doing this for my YouTube channel, I want to make sure that not only does it follow the theme repair, but it also encompasses audio in some way. So what can we do? So to help me try to come up with an idea, we just went with the 5 W's. And who? Me? You? I don't know. What? You know, repair sound. You know, like I said, we want to make it sound related, but we have to follow the repair theme. Still not sure how I'm going to do that. When and where, I think, is probably kind of irrelevant. And why? Because I said so. I really have nothing yet. So since a lot of that was irrelevant, I just kind of wanted to keep it simple, lure. So I just figured we'd go with what are we doing and how do we do it. That is the goal. And so I had this idea where what if we start a level that doesn't have any sound in it? And you have to traverse the level and figure out how to bring all the sound back. Now we just have to figure out how. Okay, so what if we have the world that doesn't have any sound in it and you have to go around the world and collect sounds to bring the sounds back into the world? And I feel like we could probably do that with some sound classes and sound mix modifiers. All right, so I've jumped into Unreal because I want to see if I can't at least make a pickup. Everything I've ever done before has been audio related. I mean, I've done some like level building. I've never actually made a pickup before. So let's see if we can make a pickup. I don't feel like it should be too hard. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to create a folder. And I guess it would help if I actually pulled this over to the window so you can see it. And I'm going to create another folder and I'm just going to call this pickups. That way we can keep things organized. And then in our pickup folder, let's see, let's make a blueprint class with an actor, and I'm going to call this pickup. And we can go ahead and open this up. And just to start out, I just want something simple. I'm going to go ahead and make a cube, scale this down a little bit. And let's see here. I want the player to be able to interact with it, but I want them to also be able to walk through it. So, okay, let's turn the collision off on the cube itself. No collision. And then I'm going to add a box trigger or box collision. That way the player can interact with the collision of the trigger instead of the box itself. I'm going to go ahead and compile that. And then in our event graph, we can get rid of this. So select our box. We're going to add an event for the box, which is going to be a begin overlap. And I just want it to destroy the actor. Because like I said, we're just simulating a pickup right now. Until we add functions, I guess it's not really a pickup. And compile that. I can close that. We'll move this out of the way. And we'll drag this in. So now, in theory, if I hit play, as soon as I touch this box, it should disappear. Boop. Okay, perfect. And now I needed to actually do something with audio. So we're gonna need audio. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and let's see here. I'm gonna, in our user imports, I'm gonna go ahead and make another folder, and I'm just gonna call this audio. I need to import audio. So let's see what I got here. All right, so I'm gonna pull in an ambient loop that that I made for one of my videos last week, where I went out and got some nature sounds. And I'm gonna go ahead and open up this ambient loop, and I want it to loop. And okay, so I'm gonna do it in the way that I'm gonna do it with sound classes and sound mix modifiers. So I need to close this, move this out of the way for now. I'm gonna make a sound class, and I'm just gonna call this AMB for ambience. And I need a sound mix modifier. And I'm gonna call this AMB underscore mix. And I did a video on sound classes and sound mix modifiers before, when ducking audio, like sound effects and stuff under dialogue. So if you want to check that video out, I'm sure there'll be a card up there somewhere when I put this out on YouTube. So let's see here. The way that I did it before, go back into our audio track here, and I'm going to add the ambient class that I made. And there's a way to do this with the timeline and things like that. I'm going to cheat, and I'm actually going to take this volume and I'm going to put it down to 0.001. And I'm sure that's not the right way to do it, and you guys can yell at me in the comment section about that. So now I'm going to come in here to my sound mix, and what class are we affecting? We are affecting the ambient sound class, and since I set the sound class to 0.001, I'm going to make this 1000. Go ahead and save that, close it, save all, and I need to add an event to this box. I'm going to go back into my pickups, and I want this to push that sound mix modifier. It is the ambient mix. Okay, so I'm going to compile that, save it, close that window, and then I need to actually drag the audio into the scene. Alright, so now in theory, when I hit play again, you shouldn't be able to hear the music until I touch the box. Alright, so no music, and then... Oh, ambience. That's right, I'm doing ambience. And you can hear it. Okay, perfect. So now I need to figure out what sounds I'm actually going to have, because like I said, when I was brainstorming, I want to start with a world with no audio, and then the user goes around whatever level we end up making, and they collect things, and it repairs the sound into the world. And that way we're sticking with the theme of the game jam, but we're also making it audio related. All right, so let's do music now. And so I need some music. And this is just an audio file that I pulled from the YouTube library. And I made that loop. And just like before, I need to set up a sound class and a sound mix modifier. So sound class, we'll call this BGM for background music. And another sound class or a sound mix modifier called BGM underscore mix. Save that. Okay, so again, no audio, ambience, music. Alright, so now we need some footsteps. So footsteps are a little bit different because we're not just doing one sound. We're gonna have multiple variations, which I've got a library of footstep sounds. So let's pull in some, since we got some nature backgrounds, I'm gonna pull in some grass footsteps. I'm gonna go ahead and save that. And then for this, I need to make a sound cue. And I'm gonna call this, oops. And I'm gonna pull this off to the side just so I can see this window for a second. Drag those in here. And if you missed my video on footstep sounds, I'll throw another card up there. So with those selected, we're gonna go ahead and pull in a random, and we'll modulate these a little bit for some extra variation. And then play cue. Alright, so with our footstep cue made, I need to come in here and do another sound class. Call this footsteps. Alright, so I'm going to come in here to the third person run animation. And we're going to pause that. And we'll scrub through here for footstep. I'm going to play a sound. Grab our next sound there. Okay, so the sound that we're playing is going to be our footstep cue. And that's going to be our footstep cue. Okay, go ahead and save that. Close that window. We're going to go back into our pickups and call this pickup underscore footsteps. And we're just going to go through this process again. All right, so now in theory, our footsteps, drag this over here. Okay, so I just want to test that box real quick. No footsteps and footsteps. Perfect. Music and ambience. Sweet. So that was actually pretty simple. Now I think the fourth one, and probably the final one I'm going to do, is just other sound effects. But I don't know what sound effects I'm going to need yet until we get a level figured out. So now it's time to search my Unreal Marketplace library and see what free stuff I have, because I suck at art. Alright, so when I was looking through my library, I came across an asset pack that I had called Environment Set, that I thought, since I already had the grass footsteps in and the nature sounds and kind of that, you know, acoustic guitar, this forest scene would probably be perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to my project. Alright, so because I'm very short on time, like I said, I'm not actually at a jam site, which is unfortunate. You know, and I've got to do this by myself at the studio. So I just went ahead and imported their sample map. And I'm just going to go ahead and use that. This isn't something that I'm releasing, so I mean, for sure, if you think this is a cool asset pack, Go check it out on the marketplace. It's cool because it actually has all the LODs already in it as well. And so what I think I'm going to do is, I've seen a lot of games before where they're more so artistic pieces and not an actual game. And I think we're going to do something along those lines. So what I'm going to do is, I've got a player start point here, and I think we're just going to have the sound collectibles hidden throughout this level, and just, you know, have an experience walking through the woods. Alright, so something I've never actually done is create a blueprint actor in one level and hold it into another. So I should probably make sure that works first. So we've got our footsteps, our ambience, and our background music. Save that. And we'll hit play. Okay, we've got footsteps. We've only got foot. I'm an idiot. I guess it would probably help if I actually pulled the audio files into the scene. There we go. Alright, so now that we've got our level, like I said, I did want to add some sound effects, so now I need to figure out what sound effects other than footsteps we're actually going to have. Alright, so what I ended up doing is I added in some water, just in a couple random spots. Got some water there, and deeper in the woods, I've got some water. And I went ahead and made a sound cue for the water. And then I also added some birds in the trees. So that's what I did for the sound effects, because there's not a whole lot going on in the scene. And like I said, I just kind of want to make it just kind of walk around the woods and enjoy the environment type of level. So I went ahead and also made the pickup for that, which I lost it somewhere in the woods, but I guess that's kind of the point of what I'm doing. Right, there it is. So just to kind of go over that. Right now we have no sound, and I'm going to skip the other ones and just go straight for this pickup. And then when we get close to the water, and then we're going to head back to the start, so I can just pick up the other three so we can listen to how it sounds all together. Obviously, I need to do a little bit more mixing of that, which I'm kind of running out of time here. So what I want to do is I want to make these blocks. Let's change them from cubes to spheres and make them glow. Sure. That seems like it would kind of fit in this environment. Not that, when you go into the woods, you see glowing spheres. Otherwise, there's an issue. But I think as far as aesthetics go, that would work pretty well for what we're doing. So let's go ahead and we're going to open up our pickups here. I go to the viewport and delete the cube. Add a sphere. Scale that down a little bit. And change the collision again. Okay, and now we're just going to go ahead and do that for the other ones. Alright, so I've got them change the spheres. Now I need to make them glow. Alright, so I watched some tutorials. I think I got it. This is probably still wrong, but like I said, I know nothing about materials. But I don't think it looks that bad. And like I said with the audio, if it works, then whatever. Then it works. So that's kind of the effect I was going for. Maybe I'll turn the emissive color down a little bit. That looks like a tiny sun on the path. But it works. Alright, so I added some last minute touches, changed the lighting a little bit, changed the walk speed, varied the sound so it mixed a little bit better, and I ran out of time. So without further ado, this is my game for the Global Game Jam 2020 with a theme, Repair. Alright guys, so that's going to wrap things up for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out as we dove into the Global Game Jam video. So if there's anything you'd like to see, feel free to let me know in the comments section below, or you're more than welcome to join the Sound Effects Guy Discord channel. I'll leave a link to that Discord channel in the description below. Until next time.